Ian Eagle, Mark May, our entire CBS crew back with you from Kansas City. 10-0 Chargers with a lead. Mike Cloud setting up as a receiver as we start play in the second quarter, and a 2nd and 7. Gerback, low throw again, out to midfield. And the catch made by Gonzalez. A gain of just 3. So they'll face a 3rd and 4.
And if I'm Elvis Gerback in this situation, I want to go long with the ball. Just one time, get the respect of the defense. And I go to the rookie, Sylvester Morris, on the last play. He was streaking down the sidelines. He was wide open. He's going against a player that doesn't have the speed and the ability that he has, the athletic ability to take a shot with the rookie.
Kansas City players told us this week, hey, Tennessee was putting 8-9 players in the box on every single play. Deflected. And incomplete. He was hoping to hook up with Sylvester Morris. And some boos once again from this Arrowhead crowd as John Perella got a piece of that Gerback pass.
And John Perella right here in the interior line, he's going to jump at the right time and knock it down with that paw. And Perella's the type of guy, not a flashy guy, but he will sacrifice for the defense. He puts pressure up the middle, collapses the pocket, and will give you plays like that, knocking the ball down.
Underrated.
Very underrated. But he's one of those players you've got to have, one of those steady players you need on your team that doesn't get all the accolades, but the coaches know and the players know he's one of your bell cows, one of your leaders out there.
Another flag here on special teams.
Ball start. 56. Offense. Still 4th down.
Gary Stills gets called for the 5th Kansas City penalty.
And what's strange about this, last year they worked down the penalty situation with Kansas City because the previous year they were the worst or one of the worst in the league. They thought that they solved that problem this year and last year, but at this point in the season, I don't think so.
Mike Stock, the special teams coach, it's been a nightmare for the first 2 games and change. Another good punt from Sauerbrunn. And Nate Jacquet is pinned shy of the 10-yard line. Gary Stills making up for the error on the penalty. Comes back to make the play. A 52-yard punt. Why did Jacquet field it? It probably would have bounced into the end zone. A 10-0 lead for the Chargers.
So, I hope you like lobster.
Everything all right?
Fine.
Chiefs fans trying to cheer on this defense in a 10-0 game. San Diego with the lead. Early stages, second quarter, and the Chargers have it, a 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line. Kenny Bynum in the backfield, stepping in for the injured Robert Chansey, out with a shoulder injury. Bynum up the middle, able to squeeze through a hole as Eric Hicks got him down low at a gain of 5. Let's head to New York right now, get an NFL Today update with Jim Nance.
All right, Ian, so far on the season, Brian Griese has thrown 7 touchdowns and has not been picked off once. That includes 2 today. This one's to Howard Griffith. They're up 24-7, but the Raiders are knocking right at the goal line door, a yard out. Let's go back now to Kansas City.
Griese really coming to his own in the early stages of this 2000 season. Fletcher on the field, and they get to Moreno. A charge from that defensive line led by Dan Williams.
Talk about timing the snap count. Dan Williams is like a cat in a cage. As soon as the ball snapped, boom, he's in the backfield. A wonderful swim move to get around Riley Roundtree. You're going to see right there, and he gets right in the backfield. They can't get him. There's 2-on-1, Roundtree and Roman Fortin. He splits both of them and gets in the backfield and sacks Moreno.
Now Moses Moreno, I don't think this is the way he visualized it when he was named the starter by Mike Riley. Teams had a tough time moving the ball downfield, but yet they still own a 10-0 advantage. Deep in the pocket, throwing underneath. Emerging is Terrell Fletcher. Lost the football late, but he was already down at the 15-yard line, and that is shy of a 1st down. And Moses Moreno, forget about the heat on the field. There's heat in the pocket.
You talk about a great play. Watch Moreno on this play. He gets heat from the backside. Dan Williams again. He's got to throw a jump pass just to complete it, but he knows he's going to take punishment on the play, but he stands in the pocket and does the job.
But Moreno showing his poise. That's a word that Mike Riley used in our discussions with him. And now Darren Bennett standing at his own goal line. David Binn will snap. Bennett leans into this one. Wow. Parker forced the back pedal from the 20. And Parker is met at the 27. Once again had some room to work with, but he's got to make a move to the sideline. He couldn't do it as Reggie Rush was able to catch him after the 61-yard line.
Coach, you gave some players time off to check.
Zocor. Zocor. Be there.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by PSINet, the Internet super carrier. Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at guaranteed low prices. And by Coors. When you're an original, you do it your own way. Original Coors.
As we check out Nichols Fountain here in Kansas City, little birdie told me, our director Suzanne Smith, told me that this city, Kansas City, has the second most fountains in the world next to Venice. Can you believe that? On a handoff up the middle to Mike Cloud for a gain of 2. I know I sound like Cliff Clavin a little bit. Look at the temperature. Now, that psyched you out when you were a player, yes?
You bet. My last 2 years in Arizona, we used to put a big thermometer in the corner to psych the opposition out. It psyched me out when I was a player because I hated to see. Once it got over 100 degrees out there, you're carrying around 30 pounds of pads. You have the helmet on. You're tired. You're sore. Your coach is screaming at you, and you're out there trying to battle with all that extra gear on, and it's 100 degrees plus.
Tough for fans as well, apparently. On a 2nd and 8. Breaking a tackle, it's Richardson. Tony Richardson won't go down, at least without a fight. First down, Kansas City. Out to the 46-yard line.
Keep an eye on 68, Will Shields. He's right out in front of him. It's a trap play. He pulls around, gets an outstanding block. Richardson follows the blockers. That's why he's successful. He squeezes through the hole, flosses the defense, and the rest is all Tony Richardson.
You know, he told us that he models himself after Kimball Anders, who was his mentor when he came into the league, and he looked a little bit like Anders on that play. Breaking tackles, extra effort. Anders obviously still part of this roster and a great story, and he's been able to come back from the Achilles injury last year. But Richardson is now the starter. Play fake. Gerback, plenty of time. Fired. Wide open Alexander. Into San Diego territory and down at the 36. Michael Dumas was forced to make the stop, the free safety.
And it's plays like this that make Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator, very comfortable. Look at the separation between line and quarterback. Gerback's able to drop back deep, look down the field with great vision. A nice route by Alexander, but it's execution on everybody on offense, giving the quarterback time, running a precise route, putting the ball in the money.
1st and 10 now from the 36. Cloud in the backfield. Play fake. Gerback stepping up, looking for it all. Long ball. Morris, he's got it. Touchdown. Scott Turner beat on the play. 36-yard score.
I talked about it earlier. You've got the speed and the size in Sylvester Morris. He's going against a career special teams player in Turner. Why not give him an opportunity? They haven't thrown the ball long. Last week we had him in Tennessee. They didn't stretch the defense with the ball. Here they take an opportunity and throw it at Sylvester Morris. That's what this offense needed, a spark with a wide receiver that can go the distance and stretch the defense, and that's what they got out of Sylvester Morris.
First NFL touchdown for Sylvester Morris. Stoyanovich the extra point, a 4-play, 73-yard drive. And yes, this Kansas City offense is awake. It's 10-7 Chargers.
A blitzing 290-pound linebacker knocked John Elway unconscious. A concerned team physician kneeled over Elway. Johnny said, "Do you know where you are?" Elway sat up, looked around, and said, "Yeah."
Elevator.
It's a special 1 hour Everybody Loves Raymond. The new comedy broadcasting system hits the air CBS Monday, October 2nd.
CBS Sports, the exclusive home of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Reinstated the Magic.
Young Sylvester Morris gets his first NFL touchdown on a bomb from Elvis Gerback. And the Chiefs are on the board. It's 10-7 San Diego. Kansas City will kick it off with Todd Sauerbrunn. Ronnie Jenkins, the rookie, who returned 193 yards for a touchdown last week, is the deep man. Here's Jenkins looking for a lane, spinning forward, and out to the 31-yard line. He lost the football late, but the officials claimed he was already on the ground. Larry Parker knocked it out.
Take another look at the touchdown. Watch the route right here on Sylvester Morris, the rookie. He will break it down here in the field of play where I'll show you, and he bends it back, and this allows the route right there when he bends it back to separate both defenders. Now the defense laid. Scott Turner is not supposed to get beaten deep on the play. A fantastic route run by Sylvester Morris. Great play calling by Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator. But just that little hint of bending the play back out separates both defenders, allowing Morris to split both defenders and get deep behind Scott Turner.
A coach's challenge, we believe, at the 10:02 mark of the second quarter.
There will be no stoppage on the play, no charge timeout.
The whistle had blown. Gunther might still be railing on the officials. Cunningham felt that the ball was fumbled. And Jenkins did lose it on the way down.
And he has a pretty good complaint. That ball was fumbled.
There's no challenge because the whistle blew. You can't go back and change that. Handoff. Kenny Bynum trying to cut it back. And he picks up a yard. Now remember, there's a reason why he can't challenge here, and it has nothing to do with the fact that the officials don't want to give it to him. It's that the whistle did blow.
He lost control of it before he hit the ground.
Now the Kansas City Chiefs, after that touchdown pass from Gerback to Morris, nearly came up with a turnover, and Gunther is still steamed. 2nd and 9. Here's Moreno. Deep drop. In trouble and sacked. Eric Hicks came firing in. Hicks had 1 sack last week against Tennessee, and give him 1 this week.
Outstanding play on the front line. Keep an eye on McLaughlin going to the outside. He grabs the guard. This is a TE stunt. It allows Hicks to go around back through the middle, and he's clean. The center has to pick up, but the guard has to push off of McLaughlin, get back underneath, and pick up the end coming around on the stunt.
And he's doubled his production from a week ago. Sack number 2 for Hicks. 3rd Kansas City sack overall. And a 3rd and 19 for Moreno on the Chargers. Under 9 minutes to play first half. Moreno forced out of the pocket. Throwing on the run. And complete. Kenny Bynum trying to make something happen after the catch, but he comes up well shy of a first down. In fact, shy of the original line of scrimmage. A pickup of 6. It was Chester McLaughlin who did apply some heat in the pocket.
And Chester McLaughlin stepping up on the play, jumping from the tackle to over the center in a nose position, splits right guard and center Roman Fortin, gets penetration on the field, and chases down Moreno on the play. But here's a young quarterback that keeps his composure. He's flushed out of the pocket, keeps his composure, looks downfield at the very end, and completes the pass.
Kansas City defense knows they're going against an inexperienced quarterback. That's fairly obvious as Bennett boots it away. Out towards the sideline, Parker will try to take it out of bounds, but was a bit indecisive. And it caroms out of bounds. Line of scrimmage will be just shy of the 20 after the 54-yard punt. A 3-point game.
CBS is sponsored by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. And by MVP.com.
Kansas City trying to rally here in the second quarter. They trail 10-0, now trail 10-7, and they get the football back with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. On that last series, Elvis Gerback hit a milestone, over 10,000 yards for his career through the air. Chiefs offense trying to find its rhythm. They did on the last drive. Little out pattern. Great hands by Alexander, but he was out of bounds. And a flag down. Would have been a first down for Kansas City. Gerback took another hit from Darren Mickle and Junior Seau. And this one is against the Chargers.
Now, if you look at the life.
Illegal contact. 56. Defense. First down.
Orlando Ruff.
You look at the life that's generated after a score by the offense. The offensive line of Kansas City, previous to that last drive and score, they're walking to the line of scrimmage. Now they're hustling to the line, showing a little bit of spirit and getting into the offense right now, and they're running up to the line of scrimmage and getting set.
First time Kansas City has opened a season 0-2 since 1988. That was the final year of the Frank Gans tenure. Mike Cloud, no gain. And Junior Seau pumping the fist. Let's get an update right now. We head to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Ian, the Raiders have come back from 17 down. In fact, they scored 17 points in the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Tom Ruin's kick is blocked. Randy Jordan will recover, and the Raiders have tied it in a wild one. Let's go back to Ian and Mark.
AFC West football. We got a little bit of it here, a little bit of it out on the West Coast as well. The 2nd and 11 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Gerback, quick throw on the slant. Alexander able to bring it in with Dumas and Harrison combining to make the stop, a pickup of 7.
And that's about the way that you're going to have to attack the defense of the Chargers over the middle, the quick slants. They're used to Elvis Gerback. They faced him before. He likes to run the 15-yard outs. He's very good at that. The previous play, out of bounds to Alexander, those are difficult to stop for them. But coming across the middle, that's an opportunity for this offense that they need to take advantage of if they want success today.
Kansas City having trouble on 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 from the 31. Full receiver look. And a timeout taken by the Chargers. Just one timeout remaining for San Diego with 6:47 to play here in the 2nd quarter. 10-7, San Diego in front. Coming up this fall on CBS, meet the men and women of crime scene investigation. If you're a victim of crime, they're your best hope for justice. William Peterson and Marge Helgenberger star in a side of crime solving you've never seen before. CSI premieres Friday, October 6th on CBS.
And I think this game's going to come down to the 4th quarter and who's going to have the ability to sustain their energy in the 4th quarter, particularly the defensive ends and cornerbacks for both teams. Both teams are thin there right now at defensive end. If you pound the defensive front, if you're an offensive player, you want to take over the game in the 4th quarter. And both these teams being thin up front, the team that has the ability to do that in the 4th quarter will win this game.
San Diego hasn't won here in Kansas City since 1996. On 3rd down, the dump off and a loose football. It's squirted out across the 35-yard line, and that should be enough for a Kansas City 1st down. Gonzalez able to cover it. And yes, the Chiefs move the chains.
Take it any way you can get it. For head coach Gunther Cunningham, they haven't had a lot of good luck. They finally got a lucky bounce going their own way. Nice strip on the ball by Gerald Dixon, but Tony Gonzalez, if you hustle and get around the football, good things will happen. Tony Gonzalez knows that. He hustles to get a block for his running back. He's out there and picks up the fumble.
Normally, Richardson fumbles the football. He'll go to the sidelines, get an earful from Gunther Cunningham. Not this time.
Now he can hide on the field.
And even 6 minutes to play in the 1st half. Play clock was winding down, and they did not get it off in time. So after catching a break, now Kansas City hurts itself on the offensive end. Delay of game. Busy man, Johnny Greer.
He's earning his pay today.
Delay. Offense.
The 6th Kansas City penalty.
And that's got to drive Gunther Cunningham crazy. Plays like that, motion plays, lining up in the wrong spot, delay of the game, those are basic fundamental plays that you should have down pat. They're foundation plays for an offense, particularly playing at home. If you're playing away and it's a hostile environment, hey, you can accept a couple of them, but not playing at home.
On a 1st and 15, the pitch goes to Mike Cloud. Looks for an opening, and Cloud is trampled down at the 35-yard line. Junior Seau, first man there after the gain of 3. And the clock continues to roll. Junior Seau still one of the best in the business, and the motor's always running.
He finds a way to get to the football. John Tate's trying to catch him the right tackle, but Junior just runs around everyone, all the offensive linemen, and makes the play. That's an outstanding play by an outstanding linebacker. He knows how to read the play. The will backer, he likes to chase things down from the backside. But for Junior Seau, averaging 117 tackles or better every year he's been in the NFL.
See the team record, that's 9 straight Pro Bowls for Seau. Gerback, timing pattern, It's Sylvester Morris. And Morris brought down at the 46. Scott Turner will be given credit for the tackle, but rookie Sylvester Morris in the third week is looking like he's polished.
And this is a nice route. He hints it right at Scott Turner, breaks it off, turns to the inside. A nice impatter by Sylvester Morris. But what I like about it is when I talked to Jimmy Ray last week when we had him against Tennessee, he said that foundation isn't between quarterback and wide receiver. Just they're out of sync at this time because Sylvester Morris held out. They just haven't had time together. It seems they're getting more and more time together on the field to play. And that relationship is building.
Just short of a first down, a 3rd and 1. Trying to push the pile. Frank Moreau. Isn't enough. Michael Dumas was trying to push it the other way as Moreau took the hit. Tim Grunhard shrugging his shoulders in disappointment. It is going to be awfully close.
And this is the situation. You've got to get low as an offensive lineman. You've got to be a groundhog. Stick your nose on the ground and root out the defenders because they're trying to get low, and you got to grab grass and get movement or create a seam for the running back. The offensive line didn't get much of a push. The San Diego defensive front won the battle of the trenches. Right here, take a look. No one moves the point of attack right there. They can't get any penetration. Grunhard, move your feet, Tim. Move your feet, Tim. As soon as you stop your feet as an offensive lineman, the defense has won the battle.
They did get a pretty good spot, though, and it's going to be enough for the first down. Moreau went in there tippy-toeing a bit.
You can't wear your high heels if you're going to be in there on short yardage and goal line. In a short yardage situation, you've got to slam the ball in there. If you see a crease, you've got to slam it. Marcus Allen was the best at this. Research and attitude. The ex-Kansas City Chief running back, he would always find a way to pick up the first down or score a touchdown in a goal line situation.
Back-to-back drives. Kansas City has been on the move. The 1st and 10 from the 47. Big Frank Moreau again. This time he plowed through. And positive yardage for Moreau as he picks up 7, crossing midfield into San Diego territory. Grunhard able to lay out a block.
And this is Kansas City football. The road graders up front. Jeff Blackshear, 316 pounds. Tate, 320 pounds. Grunhard at the center, 315. Getting a push on the defensive front. I said the battle will be won in the 4th quarter. Whoever can sustain the push.
We'll call it a 2nd and 3. And stacked up with a line of scrimmage. Kansas City unable to move the football on that play as Frank Moreau could not come off left tackle. You see the numbers. These are the kind of numbers that the Chiefs are accustomed to. They enter action ranked number 29 in the NFL in rushing this week.
68 yards a game, only 2.4 per rush. That's not winning football. That's not Kansas City Chiefs football. And they are working on the running game. They want to open up the running game by throwing the football.
A 3rd and 4. Coming up on 2 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. Gerback stepping up in the pocket. Gerback. He danced a bit, and it didn't help. John Farella, first man there. And Gerback was forced to eat it.
And John Farella's just a workhorse. He will not stop. He's the strongest man on this San Diego Charger team. He has a motor that won't quit. A player that you don't hear a lot about, but he's a staple player of this defense because he's the type of guy that takes up 2 blockers, allowing Junior Seau to make the tackle, or he gets penetration and pushes the pile, or he comes up with a big play as a sack as he just did on Elvis Grbac.
Yeah, Farella's really improved through the years. A former Buffalo cast-off that San Diego jumped on back in 1994 as a free agent.
And they say he's like Jekyll and Hyde. On Sundays, you don't want to get close to him. During the week, he's a fun-loving guy and a good guy, but on Sundays, keep your distance.
We hit the 2-minute warning. Chargers 10, Kansas City 7. We're coming back.
I'll trade you this salad for you.
The NFL customized jersey. Choose any team, any name, any number. Call 1-877-NFL-SHOP.
CBS Tonight.
There's anyone that's had sex with my husband, I think I have a right to know.
Julia Roberts is giving everyone something to talk about. CBS Tonight.
3-point game. Chargers in front with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Todd Sauerbrunn on to punt it away. Nate Jacquet standing at his own 11. High punt. Jacquet, fair catch signal, and brings it in at the 17-yard line. 32-yard punt with 1:54 left in the 2nd quarter. Well, coming up, the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Join Jim Nantz, Mike Ditka, and Jerry Glanville for all the scores and highlights coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Week 3 in the NFL. And yes, September. Temperatures continue to rise on the field. Well over 100 degrees here at Arrowhead. Robert Chancey left the game with an injured shoulder. Terrell Fletcher currently the tailback. Moses Moreno able to unload. Second man in the vicinity is Curtis Conway. Did he make a clean catch is the question. Incomplete. Freddie Jones, who we have not heard much from, was also in the area.
It seems that San Diego, every time they run a pass route, there's always 2 wide receivers in that area, and there are also a lot of Kansas City Chiefs in that area. But that is a no catch by Curtis Conway. But for quarterback Moses Moreno, the offensive line has to give him better protection. You've got a young quarterback out there. Let him settle down. He's in a situation now less than 2 minutes. He's got to move the football to help the defense out, or he has to move the football to try to get their offensive point.
Only 44 total yards for this San Diego offense. 162 for Kansas City. Short drop. And Moreno's pass incomplete. It was behind Freddie Jones, and again, 2 players in the same area.
I don't know if there's confusion or if San Diego's trying to run picks in certain areas, but there's always 2 wide receivers in a condensed area. And in the NFL, you don't have a lot of success when that happens, and if you do complete it, it's always a short game.
Well, you see the season average for Mike Riley, who came in as an offensive guy. Former head coach at Oregon State. Second year as a head coach in the NFL. The 12th head coach in Chargers history. Crowd getting into it on a 3rd and 10 from the 18, hoping the Chiefs get the football back. Moreno stepping forward. Moreno throws. Wide open Freddie Jones, and he drops the football. Oh, boy. If you want to talk about a scouting report to a T, that's it for Freddie Jones. Talented, has all the skills, all the tools, but inconsistent.
And that's what they need for this Chargers offense is consistency, particularly here. He's wide open. Your quarterback Moreno makes a great play, gets you the ball, gets out of traffic, gets out of pressure, does everything he's asked to do. You have to help him out. The role players around him need to step up.
6 San Diego possessions, 5 of them have been 3 and punt. Again, it's Bennett. High punt. This man is all world, literally. Larry Parker. He loses the football, knocked up in the air. A scrum for it at the 34-yard line. Kansas City says they've got it. After a 59-yard punt, and Parker having his problems here today. Parker grabbing at his left knee, and the Chiefs do recover it.
Darren Bennett can definitely boom him. A lot of times he outpunts coverages, but here on this play, Larry Parker has to put the ball away, squeeze the ball, takes a hit right there. The ball's knocked out. It's not a major hit, but it's knocked out there. You have to protect the ball in every situation, particularly inside of 2 minutes when you have an opportunity to put points on the board and get decent field position. But luckily, the hustle of the coverage team of the Kansas City Chiefs recovers this fumble because the San Diego Chargers had many of opportunities right there to get it. Here's another opportunity. San Diego should have this ball right there. They miss it. Gets knocked around some more. Kansas City comes up with a recovery.
Steve Tovar was the man that knocked it away, but Larry Parker remains on his back. He was grabbing at that left knee following the play. They decided to go in a different direction special teams wise, allowing Tamarick Vanover to exit this team. And Larry Parker has assumed the duties in the early going.
Now, if you look back at the changes of this team, since Gunther Cunningham's taken over, 28 of the 53 players that he started with are off this roster. And if you go back this year, 2 years experience or less, 14 players. So basically he's building a team not just now, but also for the future of the Kansas City Chiefs. So he's going to make those changes. He's willing to take those chances and make changes.
Also, Gunther Cunningham much more involved in the offense this week, which was a major story here in Kansas City. And Cunningham's a guy that has really paid his dues through the years. 54 years old, his second year as a head coach in the NFL. 9-7 in his first season. Take a look at the travels. All over the map, in fact. And that's the life of a coach. You go where the jobs are.
I'd like to have his frequent flyer miles.
Yeah. I'd say some of them have expired, though, through the years as well. This is a guy that's been doing this for about 30 years of his life. There was a flag on the field. unnecessary roughness has been called on David Binn, the snapper for San Diego. So this entire play is coming back. And Larry Parker will not be returning. It will be Kevin Lockett. So Kansas City has a chance to have very good field position. Still plenty of time left to work with. 1:22 in the first half. Here's Bennett out of his own end zone. Lockett standing at his own 40-yard line, respecting the leg of Bennett. Bennett gets it off. Lockett will field at the 45, has some room, tries to double back, and able to split some defenders and hurdles his way to the 45-yard line of San Diego. David Binn will be given credit for the stop on special teams. An excellent field position for the Chiefs. They made up 20 yards following that last punt. Coming up, NASDAQ.com halftime report. Jim Nantz, Mike Ditka, Jerry Glanville, all the scores and highlights in Week 3 in the NFL. That's all coming up. The NASDAQ.com halftime report.
And when we spoke with Elvis Gerback earlier this week, he told us point blank, this is the first week I've been able to call 2-minute drill in practice. So he's going to have the opportunity to call his own plays in his 2-minute situation. 1:11 left. They've got great field position. A lot of time on the clock.
More freedom. Audibles for Gerback. It's all in there. Gerback throwing. Again. Sylvester Morris trying to turn it upfield. And he's tackled at the 22. Under a minute left now in the second quarter. And Gerback takes a timeout. Kansas City will have one remaining.
Wonderful move by Sylvester Morris. They drafted him in the first round because they needed speed on the outside. They needed the big play receiver. But look at the cushion he's given on the outside. A sweet move to the outside on Reggie Rusk. He can't hang with him. But if you look at the rookie in Sylvester Morris, big, long arms, tall, lanky. He's got a lot of pride from a small school, Jackson State. But coming to the NFL, he had Gunther Cunningham as a coach at the Senior Bowl. And he said at that time he learned a lesson from day one from Gunther Cunningham on what he expected from him or any other player in the NFL.
Yeah, I asked him, what'd you think of Gunther first time you met him? The word he used, eccentric.
Gunther?
Yeah.
Eccentric? He said he walked into a meeting one day, and they were jawing in the back and laughing and fooling around and having a good time. As soon as Gunther came in, apparently he laid the law down that when coaches come in and talk, you listen.
Gunther liked Morris enough, was impressed with him at the Senior Bowl, that he talked to him and I'm sure told him how impressed he was, and then talked to Carl Peterson. And lo and behold, he was there where in the first round when the Chiefs were picking a big physical receiver, the all-time leading receiver in Jackson State history. He's accounted for the only Kansas City touchdown here today, and the first NFL touchdown of his career. 4 catches, 83 yards.
He's having a bust-out game, obviously, but here's the situation. If he comes to camp on time, he comes to camp and reports the last day of training camp. For a rookie, that is unheard of. You miss so much time in the two-a-days, and for him to come that late, he was way behind in the offense. But now he's catching up week to week. The one thing we talked to him about was the playbook. He said he never had a playbook this thick at Jackson State.
6 straight completions for Elvis Gerback, and a 1st and 10 at the 22. Cloud goes in motion. Gerback wants to throw it. Timing pattern. Corner of the end zone. Morris was brought down, and flags come down. Oh, they found something here. Gerback and Morris gaining confidence as this game goes on. That combination, and Kansas City is looking to take advantage of it.
Sylvester Morris.
Interference. Number 21, defense in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
It's been one of those days for Scott Turner.
It definitely has, and he's not their starter. Coming into the season for San Diego, their starters are supposed to be Deron Jenkins and Fakir Brown. And Brown's injured in the offseason with a shoulder injury. He gets into a car accident. He still hasn't played yet, but Deron Jenkins is out this week with a hamstring injury, and now they're going with backup cornerback.
Gerback on a rollout for Richardson. Touchdown, Kansas City. A flag down. This celebration may be short-lived. Chiefs with a chance to take the lead.
Holding. 95. Defense is declined. Touchdown is good.
Kansas City in front. Elvis Gerback to Tony Richardson.
The It's a nice job of Tony Richardson of running his route. Good protection up front. When you get in situations like this, in the past, Kansas City would pound the football in. Here they caught San Diego off guard. They went with a quick pass. Richardson, touchdown.
Stojanovic, extra point. And Kansas City with a chance to go to the locker room in front, 14-10.
And for Kansas City right here, Elvis Gerback rolls out to the right. It's a roll pass right. Gets good blocking, but the defense, you've got to pick him up. He's the man for Orlando Ruff. You've got the tailback one-on-one. He goes through the hole. No one picks him up. You can't give that much cushion to the outside. It's over. Too little, too late for the San Diego defense.
And Richardson goes in untouched. And now this Kansas City offense all of a sudden is clicking. 2 plays, 45 yards. Great field position. They take advantage of it. It takes only 24 seconds.
And this is what Elvis Gerback, the quarterback for this Kansas City Chiefs, expected out of this offense. He looked at this offense. 14 points for this offense is unacceptable. We can score more. We just need to execute better offensively. Everybody's pointing fingers. Well, we need to run the ball, pass the ball. The media's pointing fingers at the coordinator. Baloney. It relies on the players. If you don't execute the plays, you don't put points on the board.
Gerback has just about matched his yardage total from last week. Here in the first half alone, 13 of 19, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns for Gerback, 1 interception. At Arrowhead versus the Chargers, Kansas City has dominated the last 3 games, 88-10 combined score. Ronnie Jenkins is capable of bringing one back the distance. He did last week, but this time he's wrapped up at the 29-yard line. A return of 24 yards. Andre O'Neal on special teams, with only 42 ticks of the clock remaining in the first half.
Ian, it's easy to say thus far, the first half of this game compared to the last 2 games, the special teams for the Kansas City Chiefs are a much different breed in this first game.
14-10, Chiefs leading the Chargers. And San Diego will get one last crack before we hit halftime. Moses Moreno, 5 of 14, 52 yards. He's been under pressure throughout the first half. Here's Moreno, stepping up. Moreno stumbling forward and couldn't get back to the line of scrimmage. McLaughlin was able to get him down low. And we'll see if he's given credit for the sack. It was a loss of 1.
Chester McLaughlin just caving down the interior of the San Diego Chargers. A one-man wrecking crew, taking Roman Fortin and Kevin Gogan back to quarterback Moses Moreno.
How about that war between former teammates with the Raiders, McLaughlin and Gogan, 2 big bodies. On the draw play, Terrell Fletcher was able to pinch his way through a hole, but McLaughlin was there to make the play and got him from behind. That'll be the final play of this second quarter. And the Chiefs have come from behind. End of the first half. Kansas City 14, San Diego 10. We'll send you to Jim Nash in the studio. The NASDAQ.com halftime report is coming up after this word from your local station.